Hi, this is John, and this week I'm gonna go through things a little bit different. It's kind of gonna harken back to when we first started doing devlogs, but it's slightly opinionated, and it's going to be about Cyberpunk's current condition and the recently someone coming out and saying that it's in a satisfactory state for them. But I'll go through what we have done first very quickly. The biggest thing is definitely the factory dungeon. This was super fun to work on. It was so beautiful to the point that I actually posted every single day on Instagram. Well, granted, it is Thursday right now as of this current recording, so it can't be really every single day, but it was good enough that it made me post something almost every single day, and that's good because aside from the factory and the enemies, which by the way, I've updated the Spids mech. Now he does a lot of very cool things. Clementine, the bear that I worked on a little bit last week, is actually now fully animated with her own abilities, and she looks fantastic. In fact, it's also super nice to watch her destroy enemies, but it's even better when you fight Clementine. If you challenge your girlfriend, you're gonna get your butt kicked. That's just no question, and it's the same here. Clementine is extremely strong, and we're gonna find some ways to put her in the game type to fight against and to help you out. Dhruv went through a lot of updates, revamped the weather and a lot of the systems, so every single day he goes through, he's on fire this week. He finished so many bugs, and I am excited to work on the game more and more every single day. And of course, the biggest thing is now the game is more steampunkish. There's what do you call it? There are chariots. I'm gonna say chariots. They're gonna be rabble horse carriages. Yeah, that's right. Not horse carriages, but rabble horse carriages. And a lot of things. There's also new story animations I worked on. They look pretty epic in my opinion. Been playing around with the camera more, and I think we have something really cool. Now to get back to the main topic of this week, which is Cyberpunk. There's a lot of things about Cyberpunk that reminds us about indie devs. You know, for people who don't know, CD Projekt Red made Cyberpunk, and those are the people that made Witcher 3. Absolutely fantastic game. But for Cyberpunk, they actually made a new engine for that. And what's cool is, if you listen to them talking about how they made the game, it's really similar to how indies make their own game. While they were working on the engine, they were making new things at the same time as well. So they worked on Cyberpunk while the engine was being built. And that creates a lot of problem because that's exactly what happened, the same thing to us during Mirrorblade and Neverending Night. And they both came back to bite us in the butt as well. But it's cool that you can see that even AAA developers fall into the same pitfalls as most indie game developers do too. And because of their very, I would say, shaky foundation, when they're working on Cyberpunk, it's almost amazing that they got the game to where it is. To be very honest, when I played the game, I actually had a great time with Cyberpunk. I thought it looked beautiful, but a lot of people had troubles with it, especially people on the consoles. But recently, they've been patching it like crazy, and the game is at a satisfactory state, which based on what they say, and now it's back on the PlayStation. And in my opinion, I would congratulate them for all their hard work, and I'm definitely hoping that they will work on it more, because I think this is one of their flagship titles that they are going to continue working on. Actually, let me know in the comments down below what you think about Cyberpunk currently. I still jump back on occasionally here and there just to play around, to look at the city, just because how it's designed really makes me happy. I think it looks fantastic. But my point is that when you're working on Cyberpunk and indie games, I think this is the biggest thing for indie game developers. You definitely want to have the engine first and then work on the game after, because that sounds like a no-brainer right now, but when you're working on the indie game, you're probably not going to do that, just especially when you start. At least for us, Brave Eduardo is shaping up fantastically, because this time we haven't touched the engine for a long time. We actually just used what we had since 2018, and we've just been working like crazy on the same engine this whole time. And I actually just started getting a grasp on the engine, and I just started getting to the point where I feel like whenever I'm making something, I'm like, I know exactly what to do, and when I meet problems, I know almost exactly how to solve it. In fact, that's what I did during today's stream. But anyhow, Brave Eduardo is shaping nice, Cyberpunk is going well. I'm generally in a very happy mood because everybody's working really crazy right now. I have decided not to do the Buado Kickstarter, and we're just gonna do the main Kickstarter, because when I was writing the Buado Kickstarter, I saw I was repeating a lot of the old things in the past. So, not gonna do that. Going to focus fully on the main Kickstarter. That means I'm definitely waiting for Suck-chan to finish the sound effects for the Kickstarter, and Matt to finish getting the orchestra version of the sound back, and looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to it too. Let me know in the comments down below if you like this kind of content and this kind of talk more. I've heard, and I'm not exactly sure, YouTube, I don't know if you listen to this, but I heard that YouTube doesn't like it when people switch up the things too often, and I'm definitely guilty of doing that. If you look at our devlogs, they change so often, but I kind of want to get to a point where I stick to one, and if I want to make funny, goofy things, I'll just put it on the side as separate thing. Oh, and if you guys are interested in seeing Smile, also let me know in the comments down below. I'll see you guys next week on Dreams Devlog.
It's not often that someone comes along who is a true fan and listens to the end. You are both. You shall find us here